Hello and welcome to another edition of Gotham. So I've been building this arch bridge thing, which will eventually go all the way around there. But yesterday I got a bit impatient because I love ballasting. I know a lot of people out there in the model railway community hate the stuff. I quite like it. I find it really therapeutic. And plus, I find it dead quick, it's dead easy, it's dead simple. And I know everybody's got their own methods for doing this. And I'm probably teaching you to suck eggs, but a couple of people yesterday, I posted a post on Twitter of this bit. And they said, show us how you do your ballast. So, that is what I'm going to do. This is something that I put down yesterday. And that's pretty much dry. It's still a little bit soft. And then once that's completely set, I airbrush it. So here you can see there's some tracks there that have been airbrushed. So I'm going to tell you what you need, which is not a great deal. And all I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly show you how I'm just going to ballast this bit here. It's going to take about 10 minutes of me waffling on. So let's crack on. Right then, here's all the ingredients that you're going to need. This is just ballast. This is Woodland Scenics medium ballast, and I've used a light grey, and I've also mixed in some normal grey as well. This is the brown, and the brown bit I use down the edges. This is just water, just regular water, and I use these because they're free. Once they're empty, fill it full of water. That's just to wet the ballast. This is PVA 50-50 mix. It's not Gorilla Glue. You can use Gorilla Glue, but it's quite expensive. It's just regular school PVA, and it's 50 parts glue and then 50% water, and then a little bit of washing up liquid in. Just breaks up the surface tension and give that a good mix. And the only reason it's in this bottle is, well, I'll show you later, but it's really good for applying it on the track. The other things I've got are a brush and also a couple of teaspoons. So let's crack on. Right, I'm just going to do this bit here. So the first thing I do is I get a spoon like this, and I get my ballast. Now these curves have been super elevated, so I've actually got little bits of plasticard underneath on the edges just to make it tilt a little bit. So it's actually going to use quite a bit of ballast because I've got to get it all the way under the bits. Now the first thing I'm going to do is sprinkle it, and you don't need a lot. Hopefully you can see this. Now I'm just going to sprinkle it in the middle and also in between the tracks. Now don't worry at this point if you're getting it on the sleepers, doesn't matter. Probably should have put some music on while we did this. Now the spoon gives you you get a nice even coating of the ballast. And I've seen people use ballast spreaders. I've never used one myself, but it seems to get down the old ballast quite fast. So you can see there, we got quite a nice covering. Now there's bits that I need to just touch up a little bit more, but that's dead easy with the spoon. You can just get a bit more ballast. And you can touch it. Right. The next thing that I do is just use the spoon and just tap the track like that. And what that'll do is that'll get all the little tiny bits of ballast off the sleepers. Now if you've got any areas where you've gone a bit heavy with the ballast, that's where your brush comes in. So I'm just going to brush it into the bits where it's a bit thin. There we go. I'm going to just give it another tap. Now you could leave it like that if you want and then just go for the gluing process, which I'm going to get onto in a minute. I'm just going to stop. I'm going to do this little bit here, just the same, because I'm sure you're all bored of watching me putting this ballast on. And then I'll come back, because what I do, I don't know if you can see it on the video there, but I like to put a ballast shoulder on. So I'll just do that little bit and then I'll show you how to do the ballast shoulder. Right, I've moved you in a little bit closer. So you can see that's a nice even spread of ballast there. Any bits that you've got on the sleepers you can just move like that. Now I'm going to put a ballast shoulder on. This is a main line, so you can probably see that bit there. It comes out better when it's been airbrushed, but what you got to do is just get a nice lump on the spoon there, and I'm just going to run it down the inside, or the outside rather, down the outside edge of the rail. Hopefully you can see that. So it's just covering up the outside edges of the sleepers. Yeah. I'll do this side and then I'll bring you in a bit closer to show you. So I've done this track and I'll bring you in a bit closer. Right, so there you can see on this track I've mounted the ballast down the edges, and you're thinking, that looks a bit untidy, Matt. And this is how you get your ballast shoulder. So all I'm going to do is put my thumb there on the sleepers on the edge and just run it along like this. There you go. And you can see that's put a really, really nice shoulder of ballast on. And I'll do the same on this side. Now for this side I'm going to use my finger. So there you go. And that's your ballast shoulder. And you'll see there's still some little bits there in the track. So again, just give it a tap with the spoon. And what you're doing there in effect is tamping it like the real thing. And then any loose bits that you're still not pleased with, you can just brush that out like that. And that's it, that's one side done. Now you'll see on this side here, you can still see the plastic card. So I'm going to put a shoulder on that one and that one. And then we'll show you how to glue it. I'm not going to show you me putting the shoulder on that one because it's exactly the same as this one. Back in a tick. Right folks, you'll see that there's 2 bits of track there. We've only done it, this bit's already glued, so we've only done it from there to there. But we've got a nice shoulder of ballast on either side of the rail. Just keep playing around with it until you're really happy with it. You can keep brushing bits in if you think you've missed a bit. Like I can see I've missed a bit there. So I'll just put a little bit more ballast in there. There we go, give it a tap. And then once you've got it all in place and you're happy with it, we can glue it. Now normally I'd put brown down the edges here, but I've got to put some walls on here, so I'm going to wait till I've got the walls on. So what you want then is this water, it's just water, nothing in it, just tap water, and give it a good dousing. Now you don't want to get too near, because if you get too near, you'll blow away everything that you've just put down. And then once you've got it nice and wet, like that, get your glue, 50-50 PVA, with a little bit of washing up liquid in, give it a good shake, and then just douse it on. Now I'm using this bottle, but you can use a pipette if you like. You can use a syringe if you like. You can even spoon it on if you like, but I find this bottle is nice and easy. It's nice and quick. And just make sure you get every last bit. And you'll see, because it's wet, it soaks it all in. It drinks it in. And don't worry about putting too much of this stuff on, because the more you put on, the harder it's going to set. It'll take a little bit longer to dry, but it's going to set rock hard. And there you go, easy as peas. So that'll usually take, if you're in a loft and it's quite warm, like it should be at this time of year, it's lashing it down at the minute outside, and it's supposed to be summer. So that'll normally take about 1-2 days. I mean, this bit here that I put down yesterday, it's solid. It's a little bit spongy, if you like. But that was like 24 hours ago, and that's pretty solid. That probably take a couple of dry days. I'll leave it 3 days, and then once it's dry, I'll give it a quick airbrush. But that's for another day. So, like I say, I'm probably telling you how to suck eggs, but that's how I ballast, and that little bit there has taken, what, 10 minutes, if that. I mean, usually, if I'm not talking about it on a video, I'd probably do all that in one go, and that'll take me about 20 minutes. But I enjoy it. I like ballasting. Weirdo. And here's some I did earlier. So as you can see, this is one that's been done before. This is solid, same method as that, and you can probably see a little bit better the shoulders on that. It looks particularly good on curves. So yeah, any questions? Leave it below and I'll try and answer. Hope you've enjoyed this little informative video.